Hello, nosy neighbors. You already know what to do. Go ahead and pull those blinds down and pull your curtain to the side, and let's get nosy for a few minutes. Right off the top, I have to talk about Derrick Jaxn and his wife, Donisha Jackson, again. I swear I thought the last video I made was going to be it about them in the initial video I made after the apology. I just have to come back and make another video again about that whole situation, only because I follow her and I choose to follow her. And I watched her video today that she made, that she had the camouflage on and the hat and stuff like that, that I thought was a bonnet. So I do apologize because I thought it was a bonnet. But, you know, I guess I just don't have that kind of taste that I know, you know, what that looks like, because I swear I was just like, oh, she came out with a bonnet and she was just being authentic. You know, she was at home lounging around and that's how she came. There's so many red flags that I see. And I wish as a site provider that I could sit with her and have a counseling session with her. But honey, I am just looking in, okay? Like the rest of, like everybody else is looking in. Now, when it comes to Derrick Jaxn making that commentary video on his apology and him and his wife's video that they did, I was cringing when I watched it. Like, it just creeped me out. Like, it just made me feel so uncomfortable and kind of remind me of one of my patients, a few of my patients, I should say. That man has some issues. It is evident. Just like, you know, when he first did the video with his wife, I was kind of like, you know. But honey, when I saw that commentary, I was definitely alarmed. Like, alarm bells was just like pew, 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 all over, because I was definitely like red flag, red flag, red flag, like concerned. Anyway, she has God on her side and he is leading her. Okay. He's leading both of them. And, you know, if it works out, it works out. All the power to them. Okay. Honey, it could not be me. You hear me? Because there's no way, okay, that I would be going through any of that. I'm not built for it. I'm just not. You just can't. There's some things that you just can't do, like, to me, that I would allow. But, honey, that's her thing and that's what she wants to do. I support it. We all know, because we've been in toxic relationships. You know, maybe y'all perfect and I never had a toxic relationship or been with somebody who you know is not for you. Maybe you've never experienced that. I have experienced that. I've experienced being in a toxic relationship and I didn't care what nobody said to me about leaving my partner or whatever the case may be. I had to have that light bulb moment by myself, not anybody else telling me you should leave. Like, I had to have that look in the mirror and be like, girl, what are you doing? This is not you. Like, what the hell is wrong with you, first of all? So, you know, we're nobodies to them, you know, except for the people that buy their merchandise, their books and everything else that he is now marketing, which I think is just double creepy that he did that. Just very, it was too much, guys. That's all I can tell you. That, you know, look, I don't know which one of y'all watched it and how many of y'all loved it and praised him for his commentary, but it was disgusting. It was gross. And, I don't know. I'm just not digging it. And for the women who were blaming her for him cheating because of her appearance, is this disgusting? How was it her fault? Because what some say was that she wasn't dressed appropriately. She wasn't all made up. Her hair wasn't done. You know, she wasn't dressed nicely. And that is the reason why he strayed. Usually I'm used to men saying that, like when past celebrities have been cheated on, that, you know, men will make remarks. So, well, look at her. She let herself go. Look at her. But to see women be so cruel to this lady, and it's like, and it was women. Like, I did not see over 5 memes or conversations from men on blogs or on sites at all that commented on her appearance was the reason why her husband cheated. No, had nothing, in my opinion. People are going to cheat if they want to cheat. It doesn't matter what her appearance is. Look at Halle Berry being cheated on. Look at Beyonce. You know what I mean? There's rumor that Jay-Z cheated on her. Look at Kim Kardashian, been cheated on. Look at Khloe, been cheated on. Like, these women are beautiful. They have money and they're intelligent and they still get cheated on. You know why? Because the other person is a scumball and wants to cheat. It has nothing to do with the other person. Like, let that person be accountable and hold them accountable. Don't blame the victim in this sense. Like, how crazy is that? Come on, give me a break. I'm going to tell you what right now. There was a time that my husband and I, we had hit a rough patch because I was traveling a lot for work and I felt disconnected from him. And I literally found myself allowing another person to flirt with me and me flirting back. And it just scared the shit out of me when I was in my office alone. And I thought, oh my God, what did I just do? Was I just flirting? I had to call myself out like, yeah, you were flirting with this man at the job. And I went home and I remember I told Andre, like, hey, we have to talk. Like, we have to have a conversation. And I told him, I said, hey, there's problems. Like, we're having a problem in our marriage at this time. And I was flirting with someone at work, not knowing, but then caught myself and realized that it was so effortless for me to flirt with him. And I felt really awful. I felt disgusted. That weekend, honey, that came up, my husband had planned a getaway trip to Arizona, Pura, Arizona. We went to our timeshare and had the most beautiful weekend getaway. We reconnected because we get busy with work. We're, I'm traveling, he's in the military. And at the time I was traveling for work, it was so hard for us to keep in contact. Like, I was sleeping, resting because I had to wake up early in the morning. And then he was coming home, taking care of the kids and like doing things like that while I was away for a week, 2 weeks at a time. But I had to own it and say, hey, I'm close to cheating. I'm close to having an affair. And it was so scary to tell him that. I was so terrified to tell him that. And he took it very, very seriously, like very serious. Like I said, right away, he booked a weekend getaway for us. He packed up our truck and he was like, we're going away for the weekend. Okay. He was like, we're going away. And like I said, we reconnected. And ever since that day, we have made it a point to date each other, to make sure that we show each other that we appreciate each other, that we do weekend getaways. It's kind of hard with COVID going on, but we have definitely made it a point to have alone time away from our kids and to focus and reconnect. So I definitely don't buy it that it's the woman's fault or the other person's fault that got cheated on. That's just so selfish. People get cheated on all the time because people are scumballs and that's what they want to do, like I said. Anyway, so move on from Derrick Jaxn, Donisha Jackson. If you don't like their content, honey, stop following them. But don't go on this lady's page bashing her. My granny always say, every fat fool have their Sunday. And that just means that one day it will be your day. Okay, so don't be too quick to downplay someone or to kick someone while they're down, because you never know when, honey, your turn is right around the corner. Okay, so please don't, just stop it. Stop commenting on her stuff. You don't like it, go ahead. The last thing I will say that about that whole situation, there's this lady named Tasha. I think she has a vlog called Tasha Unwind that I started following recently. And apparently she has some additional tea about Derrick Jaxn that I am waiting to hear about this tea, because it's like, I think what could be worse than him cheating? Is there a baby involved, that he had a baby, that popped up out of nowhere? Because of his cheating? Did he force one of the women to have an abortion? Like, was he having sex with men as well? Like, what else could be bombshell that Tasha is saying that she's sitting on? Honey, drop that bomb, because I'm ready. Because after I looked at his commentary for his video, I was definitely like, okay, this dude has some serious issues. So for me, this is what I'm putting out there. It's either a baby, it's either he done paid for somebody to have an abortion, he's having sex with men as well. Or what else could it be? Like, what else could be bombshell, Tasha? Like, let us know. Like, I want to know what else could it be, so we could just, get over this whole thing, because I feel like it's dragging on too long, like a series. Like, I need all of it right now. Like, I need to binge watch it like Netflix. That's the experience I want right now. Like, I want it to just play out and be done with, and let's move on to something else. So I will definitely be watching to see what else she has information on him. The next thing is the next topic I want to run into real quick, because enough about the Jacksons and everything like that. I wish them the best of luck. The next thing is about Christine. Her name is Christine Engelhardt. She's from Pennsylvania. She went down to Miami for spring break, and she met 2 men, and somehow, I don't know if she was forced to take them back to her room, or she invited them to the room. I have no idea. But the men are from North Carolina, and it's I don't know how, I think the distance from North Carolina to Miami is rather close in driving distance. I don't know if they flew there or the gentleman flew there or drove there, but apparently they stole her credit cards after they murdered her, and they financed the rest of their spring break trip in Miami on her bill, basically her card. They charged it up and was basically living large off of whatever she had in her account. The reason I want to touch on this subject is because in today's society, 2021, we do a lot of online dating. Honey, I was doing a lot of online dating back in 2009, 10, whatever it was, however long I met my husband. Can't remember, but I was doing a lot of online dating. And I remember that I did a lot of safety net type things to keep myself safe, such as like background searches. So when I met guys online, I would always make sure that like I had their full name. I ran background on them. I paid for this feature at the time. I think it's called Checkmate or Check something. I can't remember fully what it is, but it was like a one-time fee. And then I have multiple unlimited background searches that I wanted to do. And that's what I did. And I would also, you know, say, hey, if we're going to meet up, I need a picture of your ID. Like I need to know who I'm meeting up with because I need to see. And not only that, honey, let me say this, let me say this right now. Back in 2009, and especially now in 2021, you could always video chat somebody that you're going to meet. I would not meet anyone blindly at this time. If I'm talking to you and you talk about, oh, your phone broke, you don't have camera, you don't have, you know, whatever, and have all these reasons why you cannot video chat with me, there is no way that we're meeting. And when we video chat, I'm definitely screen recording that video chat. There's so many things that you can do to keep yourself safe and that someone else knows where you are and who you're with. I met my husband online. So before I met him, I sent all his information over to my sister to make sure that if I did not come back home, this is the man I went with. Okay. There's a chance we took. I was a serial dater because I wanted to keep my options open, honey. I was interviewing and I was not going to hire the first good candidate. It had to all go through a probationary period. Everyone did. My husband made the cut. We're 11 years in deep now. So it's a sad story for this young lady. I don't know if she went to Miami by herself. I don't know if she went with friends, but it leads into my other statement is that if you go somewhere with your friends, you don't leave alone. You know what I mean? And you don't leave where you're outnumbered, that you're with strangers and you're outnumbered by those strangers. And this young lady was outnumbered by two men. And she was, you know, murdered. And I don't know if they murdered her, but they're the accused and somehow her credit cards are linked to them. And one of the accusers, the aunt said there's no way her nephew would have done this because her nephew is so gentle and so this and so that. Listen here, honey. Everybody think that their child is innocent. Well, not everybody, because that's impossible, right? But most people, when their children get arrested for a crime for the first time, they think that their child is innocent. If these young men are innocent, I pray and hope that they come out, you know, free and innocent. But if they're guilty, they definitely need to have the maximum penalty imposed upon them, whether that is life in prison or death. I believe that, you know, they you know, they definitely need to pay for their crime, because that was just devastating that they took this young lady away from her family. So again, guys, just be safe when you're meeting strangers, having one night stands, hooking up, meeting with people, taking them back to your room in a closed location, closed wall. Like, honey, just don't do it. Okay. It's like, I know sometimes we make poor decisions, and unfortunately she paid the ultimate price. If this was a willful act that she did, take him back to her hotel room. We just have to be more careful. Just very sad for her and her family. Anyway, so moving on from that topic, there is a very petty case in Fayetteville, Georgia, with an employer who paid his employee over 90,000 pennies covered in grease. He dropped it off in a wheelbarrow. There is absolutely no way I would have accepted that wheelbarrow with those greasy pennies. They would have had to go back right where they came from. This man is spending hours in his garage in Fayetteville, Georgia. There's a garage with a poor man that's sitting there, you know, trying to wash these pennies off with some Dawn soap to get that oil off of there. I would just have to take it to court, sir. I would not wait, because basically you are working a job cleaning all of those pennies, and then to roll them up and then to take them to the bank. No. Not going to happen. Definitely not going to happen. Next topic, little mama talking about children are too young to make to change their gender. I will say this is that I am a mom of a gay man, and I am and I had to think today because people are accusing little mama of being transphobic, right? Because of her views. And at this day and age right now, today, presently, I support my son transition. You know, I fully support it. He's an adult. If my 13-year-old came to me and said, you know, I want to have gender reassignment, you know, I would definitely have to, of course, right away start him in therapy to make sure that he's having that conversation with a professional, to make sure that, you know, they're talking about things. I wouldn't try to change his mind in any way, but we're not doing any major surgery until you're an adult over 18. I will support you, just like I'm supporting my 19-year-old now with his transition. But I definitely do agree that at a young age, not saying that children don't know that what they identify as. I totally believe that children, they know from a young age what they identify as. But as far as having surgery and gender reassignment, I really think that should be a decision that is made as an adult, meaning 18, over 18, that kind of thing. I will fully support my children. You know, 12, 13 is just still very young, you know, that kind of thing. I don't really know if I would say that she's transphobic, but, you know, someone that doesn't have kids really shouldn't have an opinion on what people do with their children, in my opinion. It's like, you know, Congress, you know, telling women what they can and cannot do with their uterus, you know, and they don't have uterus themselves. So, you know, if you don't have children, you know, whatever, that's your opinion, but don't be upset when people just disregard your opinion because you have no children yourself to base, you know, your opinion on. Because, you know, when you have your children and your children become your love in your entire life, you know, it's like, as a parent, you know, you want to keep them safe and you want to help them make the right decisions. And I would rather my children talk to me about those life-changing moments than for them to go to black markets to buy fillers and fake cement in their butts and, you know, fake implants and things like that. So I'm a different mom. I support my son wholeheartedly. I love him completely, and I will definitely be, you know, there with him every step of the way. He's an adult, so he has my support. If my children that are younger come out as, you know, a different gender than what, you know, they were at birth, that's absolutely fine with me, but there definitely will not be any surgery. Not because I don't support their gender reassignment, but I want them to go through that process of therapy and everything else, and go through the process of their bodies maturing, their mind maturing, and all of that before we talk about nip, tuck, cut, and all of that, and before mom puts any money down on that. That's my opinion. Anyway, guys, as always, I appreciate everyone that watches my videos. And if you have a feedback, great. Positive, negative, doesn't matter, honey. Just drop it, because, look, anything negative, I'm like a duck in water, honey. Just runs right off my back. Thank you for the view, and thank you for the time to sit there and write a negative comment. Keep them coming. Keep on writing the negative comments, because I love it. All right? Anyway, toodles. Thanks for watching.